Let's do this. All right, guys. I think we'll start tonight by clearing the air after a contentious stream with an owner of the FFPC about Taysom Hill. Let's get some good vibe flute to just clear the air here a little bit. All things considered, football starts tomorrow. Best ball season is about to officially be in the books, other than in-season best ball, which we will be grinding. We're getting football tomorrow. Wanted to touch a little bit, wrap up the FFPC discussion before I jump into looking at my Best Ball Mania for portfolio. So yeah, anyone who caught the stream today saw me and the owner of the FFPC have a discussion. And, to me, this guy reached out to me at 1 a.m. Eastern a couple days ago and was like, I want to challenge you to a debate, which, to be very clear, I was not interested in debating this subject at all. This is simply not a debate. It's what's right versus what's wrong. And I think it's wrong to change the position of a player after a contest is open. Feedback was anywhere from like, I'll never play on the FFPC again, to Liam's an idiot, to whatever. Some of those accounts are probably burner accounts. I think most people saw my side of the argument. I do think that they're using you for free promo. Maybe Dale. I don't think usually all press is good press. I don't know if this was good press for them. I think they generally came off very bad. And so, I don't want to see any site fail out there because I think more site options are good for consumers. So want to get that out of the way. Do not want to see the FFPC fail in any way. I enjoy playing on their site. I think it's frustrating the way he handled that conversation. I didn't think he came in with a good faith discussion at all. I don't think he answered any of my questions directly. He cut me off, which led to me cutting him off. It is what it is. We'll see if they change the rules going forward. But yeah, do I think I could have been a little bit more calm in some of my responses? Sure. I think I could have. I am a self-reflective person. I think I could have handled it better. I think I could have more easily pointed out the logical fallacies of his conversation, such as, FFPC, why is it that you do not add players after a contest has started? Is it because of integrity issues? That it would be a integrity issue to add players to the player pool after a contest has already started? How can you not see the same thing for changing the position of a player? So anyways, you can go back and watch the stream if you want. We'll see what the fallout of that is. I spoke up because, again, I think it's right. I think it's pretty easy for people to sit out there and take shots at me. And I would ask people out there that are going to take shots at me to ask yourself, who else is speaking up on this subject? Because there's not a lot of people in the content space who will speak up on a topic. Like Felix, the guy who won the DK Millie the year I won, he wrote on my YouTube that we were both being children discussing this. And to me, I was like, go fuck yourself, Felix, where it's like, I don't see you speaking up for the people at all. Probably because it's easy. So yeah, exactly. Like, I can't even believe it's a debate. It's nothing to debate. Why not give them dual eligibility? I don't know if they can do that again. So anyways, wanted to get that out of there. We'll do one more good vibe flute, and hopefully we won't have to discuss it anymore. Someone said if I had done the good vibe flute, he may have acted very differently. That's just, I mean, I'm wondering if I had just like made him like interrupting me, if I had just done the good vibe flute, how the stream would have gone. Plus, like all the people tuning in who probably don't watch my channel often. So yeah. Anyways, let's share my screen here. Let's get on my Twitter. If you're not already in my Discord, do yourself a favor. The link to join that is below. Join my Discord. You'll know when I go live and everything. Let's open up my Best Ball Mania 4 portfolio. I touched on this at the end of the stream I just did, but I had food poisoning 2 nights ago. Absolutely wiped me out the previous day. You know, absolutely wiped me out the previous day, but is what it is. So the flu just woke up your dog. I'm sorry, Eric. Yeah. All right. Last thing I'll say on the FFPC thing before we jump into Best Ball Mania 4 is if all he had came on and is said, hey, our rules are the rules. We're going to follow our rules this year. We'll revisit it next year. I would have said fair because that's, you know, like that's fine. Honestly, like that's you doing what you think is right. This, like him being the decider of what positions players are for like what is fair, which is basically his only argument, is that it would be unfair for Taysom to get quarterback points in a contest that was 90% filled. Love a good Star Wars meme. I've altered the deal. Pray I do not alter it any further. Darth Vader to Lando Calrissian, for anyone confused. Anyways, let's jump into Best Ball Mania 4. So Max Best Ball Mania 4, actually, I had 2 entries canceled along the way. Some people have asked, why do entries get canceled? Underdog cancels entries based on collusion detection. You know, ideally, they catch that immediately. Better late than never. So I had a draft canceled after it at Max, meaning I got 1 more entry back. And so I entered 1 more. So these aren't perfect exposures. It's only technically 149 of my drafts, but I'm not going to redo this. So we're working with this. These are my top 10 exposures at each position. So I figured we'd walk through these, and maybe once we do that, I don't know, I'll let the chat cry out 10 names and I'll look up my exposures individually on those players, which I'll pull up on another tab. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already in the meantime. So at quarterback, we got Josh Allen at 19%. Again, just want to reiterate that my exposures for Best Ball Mania 4 are not my exposures for my whole year. They are reflective somewhat of how I view players, but different sites have different tendencies where, for example, quarterbacks on Best Ball Media on Underdog go later than on other sites. And, you know, maybe I hedged some bets on some higher stakes, or maybe I just got different exposures in some higher stakes portfolios. So anyways, got Josh Allen at 19%, Anthony Richardson at 18%. The last thing I want to say on exposures is when I drafted a team is very key for when I was getting players, right? So I did about 65 of my teams from April 30th until May 30th, and the rest between like July and until today. Geno Smith, 13.3%, CJ Stroud, 13%, Goff, 12%, Sam Howell, 12%, Hurts, 11%, Bryce Young, 10.7%, Trevor Lawrence, 10%, Lamar, 8.7%. So overall, a pretty spread out quarterback exposure. I would guess most of my rookie quarterback exposures in Stroud and Bryce Young is they are probably a quarterback 2 as part of an elite stack. So like quarterback 2 with Hurts, quarterback 2 with Allen, where it's like your quarterback 2 barely matters, or they're the quarterback 3 in some other team stacks. Would have thought I think I have more Trevor in some high stakes. Lamar, I probably just got above 8% at the end. It makes sense to be spread out somewhat at quarterback to me, where it's kind, like, yes, I think we're directionally good at predicting quarterbacks, so that's why I want to be on the ones I think are good. But I also think that, who's going to score 40 points week 17 versus like Justin Fields, Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts, whoever, that could be a couple guys. So these are my quarterback exposures. No Dak bags. No, I definitely got Dak, man. Again, like, you're seeing this pretty spread out. We're going to call out names at the end to say it, but I got Dak at 7.3%. So this is only showing you the top 10. It's not showing you everyone. I like Dak a lot. It's just, obviously, I'm trying to stack my quarterback. So obviously, I have more Seahawks in my portfolio, etc. Let's move on to running backs. Zach Charbonnet kicking him off the top of the queue here with 27%. Jalen Warren at 24%. Tony Pollard, a big stand, 20% of a second-round player. Tank Bigsby at 20%. Gainwell at 18%. Harris at 17%. Ramondre at 17%. Penny at 17%. Swift at 17%. Kyron Williams, 17%. So 2x the field on my top 10 running backs for all of them. You can see how I played the Eagles situation is I don't fucking know. So I'm 2xing the field on everyone. Hopefully it's not Boston Scott. In the games where rushing touchdowns are scored, I'm thinking I have exposure to that. I got a lot of teams that have 2 of the 3 Eagles running backs. I got some teams that have all 3 Eagles running backs. I don't think as much on underdog with 18 round sites, but I think it's viable. I really like that the Eagles play the Cardinals week 17. Just feels like a smash spot, and I don't think the Eagles are going to be able to pull their starters as much this year. With them having a more competitive schedule and potentially a worse defense. Ramondre, I just think he's very live to be a top 5 running back in the NFL. He's like literally the only Patriot I draft. I don't love his week 17 matchup, but I think a lot of people are down on him. And, when he goes from a 2-3 turn to a 3-4 turn, and I don't really see how much was different after Zeke signed, I'm going to click him a lot. It felt really good to go like wide receiver, Ramondre plus ETN, something like that. It's not perfectly comfortable with Tony Pollard that like he came back from this leg injury, or he like broke his leg last year. That's not really been talked about a lot this offseason, but like that's some systematic risk of him. Warren is obviously a bet against Najee. I've been drafting Warren and Bigsby since contest opened with them very cheap and chased them up this year. Charbonnet is just kind of like the same bet as Ken Walker last year. I think when Ken Walker gets hurt, Charbonnet's a smash. It's an offense I want to target, what have you. My Damian Harris closing line value is probably not the best. I just refuse to believe Latavius Murray is going to do it to me. I like betting on him. Kyron Williams is obviously mostly from late drafts. I thought it was a really great sign for him that the Rams rested him all the preseason games. He's one of the later round running backs I feel has a good shot at, I think he's like a James White type. So I think he'll get some passing touchdowns. It's a bet against Cam Akers. He's going to be part of the passing game. So it's kind of a bet I like. And like that he's not drafted in a large percent of contests. Anytime you're doing late drafts, you should try to draft players who have not been drafted at 100% clip. So let's get to some of these comments. Joshua saying, I saw you took Ken Walker and Charbonnet together in drafts. I know they have different roles, but can you discuss why/when that works? Sure, Joshua. I think in a situation with Seattle where it seems pretty clear to me most of the work will be distributed between 2 running backs, which is good. Like, I don't see Singletary is my 11th highest owned running back, Scarecrow. But it seems pretty good to me that like those 2 running backs will be getting the bulk of the workload. Maybe, it literally could be something like Ken Walker gets 80% and Charbonnet only gets 20%, which would not be great for this. But I have quite a bit of Ken Walker as well. But it can work in a multitude of ways. They can both have good regular seasons. They both have good playoffs. Boom. They one guy could be the guy you need to advance. Like maybe Ken Walker has a great regular season, then he gets hurt. and now it was kind of hard to advance Zach Charbonnet, and you did because you had Ken Walker, and then Ken Walker has a good playoffs because he gets hurt. They could ping pong weeks in the playoffs. So like, there's so many ways it could work. In my opinion, not something I do a lot, but I don't like handcuffing in the traditional sense as much, where like a traditional handcuff to me would be like Dalvin Cook and Alexander Mattison of past years, where it's like more so I want to take the handcuffs of other teams. But when teams have ambiguous situations, like the Eagles, where like it's clear multiple guys are going to get work, that's when I kind of am more okay with it. Moving on to wide receiver here. I saw your thread, Jewish. Thanks for the post. Not going to retweet it. I don't need any more blood between me and the FFBC. Gabe Davis, not that different a bet from last year. I've been the Gabe Davis guy for years in these streets. I had 60% in BBM2. Like that they play the most people do not like the Bills playing the Patriots. I think that's a great matchup for the Bills, where the Patriots are potentially very bad. Their defense is probably way overrated because of their coach. They could get absolutely boat raced week 17. And Gabe Davis is just like the quintessential best ball bet, where boom bust guy. I got a lot of JSN and Mingo. Again, like this isn't my perfect exposure, but we'll do call outs at the end here. JSN, you can see actually right here, 20% JSN. Darius Slayton, I had 20% of. To me, that's just like a bet of he literally might be their wide receiver one. Or at worst, I kind of like him to get 600 to 1,000 yards, around 6 touchdowns. JSN was just like an auto hammer for me. In late drafts, I think I was getting JSN like all the time when he was like an 8th round pick. I'm not with the wavelength that Kirk should be undrafted. I'm kind of a top-down guy. Trevor around 4,500 yards, 30 touchdowns. Let's give 1,510 to Ridley. Kirk could get 1,006, something like that. Diggs, I have a lot of Diggs because I don't draft Eckler or Kelsey. Not the Kelsey fade felt better, where just a lot of opportunity cost for the player for a tight end, where you could kind of make it up with volume. You only have to start one a week. He's 34 years old. I'm just not in the business of betting on 34-year-old players. I don't think I hedged the Kelsey fade the best, where an example of a clean hedge on not drafting Eckler would be like drafting Joshua Kelly, which I did not do enough either, but is what it is. That's why I have a lot of Diggs, because again, I did not draft Eckler or Kelsey. And towards the end, Diggs was just my 105. Where you can see I have a lot of Bills in my portfolio. Part of that is because I want my bet to be like clean. I feel it's a directionally accurate bet to bet on the Bills, and Diggs could have his best year if like Kincaid is a distraction and etc. So, the Eckler fade is not that comfortable for me, where like the Chargers offense is an offense I want to bet on. I'm just hoping it goes more to the passing game. There's been rumors of them wanting to push it more downfield. I feel like a lot of Eckler's games last year came with one of Keenan or Mike Williams out of the lineup. Now they're both healthy to start the year. New OC, maybe they use Kelly a little more. So Mike Williams, bet on the Chargers. Again, he's kind of like Gabe Davis, boom bust touchdown guy. Jamar Chase, 18%. He was my 101 to open the contest. I took him 101 until the Burrow injury. Frankly, Best Ball Mania 4 again is just, it's one $3,250 bet to me, $3,250 bet to me if you max. And so I'm okay like having 0% Jefferson in one gambling simulation and just being like, I hope Chase scores more points week 17. Because if he does, it's a good bet, And if he doesn't, so be it. Say la vie. I ended up with 5% Jefferson. I also got Chase at the 103 quite a bit, because there were times where people would take CMC or Kelsey at the 102 or 101. So this was not all 102s and 101s. Michael Thomas is again, this is a story of when did you draft the player. So Michael Thomas is a guy I drafted a lot in the beginning, where it's like, he seems finally healthy to me here. I'm not an injury of like predicted injury. I think he got honestly pretty unlucky. He's not that old. I could see the resurgence. After reports came unclear on him, I stopped drafting him. So like in my high stakes stuff, I only ended up at 8%, which is a more comfortable number. So I haven't drafted Michael Thomas honestly in a while, but I don't hate having the exposure. He kind of went where wide receiver like really dried up too. So Isaiah Hodgins, again, a bet on the ambiguity of the Giants passing room. I think Isaiah Hodgins is just good at football. And so I didn't draft as much as him towards the end. I was probably like at absurd numbers of him, but yeah, spread it a little bit towards the end there. And he was much cheaper on Underdog than on other sites, which didn't make a lot of sense to me because he's kind of like a touchdown guy. Calvin Ridley ended up wide receiver 10 for me, or tied for it. I think he was tied with some guys. And I'm just a big believer in Ridley. You can go back and watch some of my streams. The stream where Herzog came on and we did a high stakes draft together. He asked me about Ridley. He's like, I know you're really high on him. And I was like, yeah, well, it's a bet on Trevor. To me, Ridley's not that different than like maybe even like Stephon Diggs in gang. Like he literally used to be viewed like that. Now he's with an ascending quarterback. I think him sitting out football for gambling is like hashtag one of us / like him sitting out a year. I don't know. I don't view it the same as Deshaun Watson, where it's like running routes and being a wide receiver is not the same thing. And camp reports have been great. Jefferson, I think I said 5%. Last up is tight end. Kincaid kicking it off here with 50%. This can pay off in so many ways. Again, I've chose to view Kincaid as a cheaper version of Zay Flowers, Quentin Johnston, Jordan Addison, what have you there. So Kincaid rocking 50%. If he doesn't have a great regular season, that's okay. He can have a great playoffs. You can get paid off so many ways in a player. So I like it. It's a bet on a good offense to score points. TJ Hawkinson, 20%. Hawkinson was not the most comforting sweat towards the end, where he was sitting out training camp because of a lack of contract. But it was all bullshit. He just wanted to get paid. And so here you go. Sam Laporta, 18%. Again, a bet on the rookies. I think the fade the rookie tight end narrative blankly is like a really terrible, lazy narrative, where this is a guy who doesn't have a lot of target competition, literally might be the second target in Detroit. Seems like a talented player. Reports were good on him. Offense I want to bet on. Boom. Knox at 13%. One I did punt off tight end and go 3 or 4 towards the end. Knox is just a bet on touchdowns. He's a guy who can get 2 touchdowns any given week. Kittle at 11%, extremely high weekly upside. I want to be exposed to elite tight ends almost always, because when they pop in the playoffs, you need them. Darren Waller, 10%. This number would be higher if he did not raise a lot in ADP. I was like really high on Waller when he was around the 70s and what have you. When he got toward the 50s, kind of became harder to click on him. Dalton Schultz, 10%. Not a guy I drafted after one of those preseason games where, I tweeted out that I think one thing that could be happening with preseason football is teams are playing their blocking tight ends more than they would in the regular season, because they really want to make sure their quarterback doesn't get hurt in the preseason. And then they want the liberty to do that in the regular season. So I don't think it's terrible or anything, Schultz, but it's not the most comforting thing that these blocking tight ends were getting there over them. Everett, the offense, was a good tight end last year. Higbee, especially with Kupp being out there, seems fine. Juwan Johnson, I have up there. Surprised not to see Musgrave on those lists. I have a lot of Musgrave in high stakes and elsewhere, so he must be tied And maybe that, maybe that was just like the volume that I go elite tight end. I wasn't getting as much Musgrave, but I got a lot of Musgrave. I can promise you that. Tight end also for me is a little bit more spread out compared to like wide receiver, where like wide receiver is a more skill-based position and tight end is skill-based, but also it's like extremely touchdown dependent. So like seems to make sense to spread it. GME holder saying people who don't go over 20% on anyone are just wasting their time. Yeah, I've said for a long time that like those who want to think they can like, or what I've said is you cannot diversify yourself to $1 million. Like you got to take some stands. I think that's one of my best chances to get myself to win. It's why I was comfortable going 18% Jamar Chase versus 9% Jefferson, 9% Chase, or whatever it would have been. I'm trying to win $3 million here. If you win 10th in the contest, you get $30K. That is pretty wild difference. All right. Someone, got to highlight the hater comments too. We try to be fair here. Where is this guy? I just saw it and then I scrolled. Oh yeah. Least biased Bills fan. I think I've said this before, and I say this to everyone. One is if you're playing something like Best Ball Mania 4, I recommend you draft some of the players from your hometown team if you still root for a football team. We're probably not winning $3 million anyway, so might as well go down with your guys. The other thing I would say is no one ever says to me, wow, Liam takes a lot of Chargers, or wow, Liam takes a lot of Bengals, right? Or wow, Liam takes a lot of Seahawks. I bet on offenses I think are good and mispriced in the market, period. And the Bills I think are good and mispriced. So yeah, let's get to some player call-outs. If you guys want to list the next 10 players, I will go with them. Or I'll just tell you my specific number there. So let's pull this up here. I got this. You need to sort for. Oh, sorry guys, gotta share something else. Puka Nacua, I think I might be rocking 0% on underdog. I lied. I drafted Puka Nacua on one underdog team. I like Atwell more than Puka, but I recognize that could be wrong. Jeff Driscoll, I did not get Jeff Driscoll this year. Famously, I had one of the only Jeff Driscoll teams in all of Best Ball Mania 3. Dawson Knox, I'm not going to do that one, man. We just showed that. Gibbs and Bijan, all right. We'll give you 2, man. We'll count it as 1. Gibbs, 12%. The way I played Gibbs is I got all my exposure when he was in his 50s, and then I just stopped drafting him for the most part. I did draft a little bit of him, though. Bijan, 9%. Michael Mayer, I like Michael Mayer a lot. Only got to 5% on underdog. Have more in high stakes. Garrett Wilson, I like Garrett Wilson a lot too. Wondering how much I got to him on underdog. 8%. Probably a little bit more on high stakes. Ridley, we just showed Ridley, man. Ayuk ended up with 6.7%. A guy I kind of warmed to later in the draft cycle. Started taking him quite a bit. Rico, you mean Rico Dowdle, I assume? Rico Dowdle ended up with 4 teams with him, so 3%, which is like maybe over the field. Travion Williams. I'll just give you all the Bengals running backs since I faded Mixon. Chase Brown, 9%. Chris Evans, 1%. And Travion, only 1 team. So I don't think I played that situation the best, but I did play them through the air. So like that's how I played it. Mark Andrews, 7% for me. I do think the opportunity cost on him was a little high too, and I'm a little bit worried with the extra target competition, but I'm around the field on him. Miles Sanders, only 2% on underdog. I got a lot of him on DK where he like fell to the 80s. Corey Davis, RIP. We'll give you that one. Corey Davis, only 1 team, thankfully. BBM4. Lamar was on my quarterback one. He's around 8%. Kirko Chains, you mean Kirk Cousins, I think? we'll show you Kirk. Kirk, 6%. Only did it with Viking stacks. So Madison ended up with 4 Madison teams, which were all when his ADPs were in the 100 to 80 range. Jonathan Taylor, 1 team. I hedged that a little bit in the high stakes with like 4 or 5 teams, but yeah, I thought Taylor was a bad pick the whole way. So Jeff Wilson, 11%. Mostert, 5%. Warm to him too late. And also, like, I preferred Wilson straight up over him. A chain, 8%. Burks, I like Burks quite a bit, 10%. Probably didn't click him enough in the 100 range, honestly, but I wasn't always like this is the lesson of Tyler Lockett from past years, where it's like people are like, oh, look at how good Tyler Lockett did, and the answer sometimes is like your guy can do right and actually be a bad pick because it comes at the expense of league-winning running backs that go in that range. So if you're building 0 RB teams, oftentimes you're taking running backs in the Burks range. Oh yeah, we got player takes. B Diddy Motor City. Spears, 15%. Quite a bit of all rookies. Najee, 2 Najee teams, both in the 5th round. One of them I also took Warren on. Cole Hardman, 3%. Devonta Smith, 16%. So quite high. You could see like my wide receiver exposures are probably pretty high all the way through. Xavier Hutchinson, only in 1 DK draft did I take him. So none. Juju Smith-Schuster. Wow, I'm shocked that I have 3 teams, honestly. Like I thought the answer was going to be 0. Lance, 5%. Unfortunately, probably more in high stakes because he was like around 20. Ramondre was on. Go back and look. Let's see. Jefferson. Jefferson is 5%. So I hedged a little bit there at the end with the Joe Burrow injury. Taekwon, not a lot. I think the Taekwon lesson for teams all early. I think the Taekwon lesson was that you really should not be betting on these terrible offenses, ambiguous situations where you got like double burn. You bet on a thin bet already, and the team sucked. You know, so I think thinking through of like how to make good late round bets is like a skill. Jake Haener, I don't even know how that is, so 0. Sam Howell, 12%. He was on the quarterback list, I think. Brian Robinson, I have a lot of, maybe not as much on underdog, but like definitely a lot of high stakes. Sean Tucker, we ended up with 7%, all late, obviously. Really like that pick late. We'll do one more here, guys. Justin Shorter. I know I took him in some high stakes. I took him once in a BBM4 too, I guess. Hardy, I ended up with 12%. I've been on Hardy train the whole way. I still think the Hardy bet could go sideways if Sherfield gets more fantasy points. But Liam, aren't you worried Pats will take off because Matt Patricia isn't the Pats OC anymore? No, because Matt Patricia wasn't playing. He was not playing football for them, so impossible. But Khalil Shakir, 6.7%, but way less than high stakes, which feels nice. Mahomes, 1 team, and I streamed that way back when. So yeah. All right, guys, that's going to do it for the exposures, I think. Let's rip a draft here. I still have 34 DraftKings drafts I need to do in the $10 milli, which what I've been doing recently, instead of doing like 5 at a time, is I've been entering 15 at a time on my phone. and just clicking the button to like go between them. And so it's pretty crazy. You a big dog, but that's probably not the best for hashtag the people. Let's do a dog bowl qualifier. I think the dog bowl qualifier is quite fun. Need 6 more people if you want to draft with me. $10. It's their live final. One Mahomes team is crazy. Yeah, man. If you need Mahomes, I lose. Or maybe I drafted the winner. I mean, my one Mahomes team is like pretty good. I'll show you it. That's what, after this dog bowl draft, we'll call out 5 numbers and we'll look at those teams. Damn, that shit filled quick. Shout out, you guys. Let's see. So back on April 30th is when I drafted my one and only Mahomes team. And it's a Mahomes and Trevor Lawrence team with Ramondre, Cam Akers, who I colded too late, but like at least I got a share. Damian Harris, Brian Robinson, Tyler Algier. So running back room seems perfectly fine. Back in Brian Robinson was cheap. It's got Mike Williams, Christian Kirk, Tyler Boyd, MVS, Rashid Shaheed, Curtis Samuel, Hunter Renfrow, Isaiah Hodgins. Not the best wide receiver group with Tim Patrick going down. I only took Tim Patrick because we didn't know the schedule at the time. Not a guy I drafted a lot, literally maybe my only share. And then got Kelsey and Ingram to correlate with the tight end. So honestly, like a pretty fun team if it gets enough wide receiver points, which, you know, Mike Williams and Kirk holding it down, get some spike weeks between these guys. So yeah. Only drafted one of him. I just thought that Mahomes was a bad pick compared to Allen or Hurts. All right. You know, some people are asking, should we hedge our best ball portfolio week 1 DFS? Fuck no. We're not hedging. We're going all in with we had the right takes. Jamar Chase, let's go. You got it, Brock. Happy to help, man. Yeah, I've done some streams on the Dog Bowl. If you haven't checked those out, it's a live final. Read the rules. You're in this draft. Good luck, Foster. It's a battle royale, except it's 12-man drafts. And really, if you don't finish first, second, or third, it's not worth playing because you're trying to get a ticket to go to the live final in Miami. You know, like finishing 5th place is like not good. Wow, Adam with a big stand here. I have 0% Chase and Burrow in 800 drafts. It's pretty, you know, like I thought Burrow was cheap in comparison to Mahomes. Brock saying I thought Allen was clear best and took Mahomes and Hurts around the same way. You know, like being if I was like perfectly objective, I would probably say like Hurts is the QB one. But whatever, you know. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I think the fill rate of these will mostly be picked up on Sunday morning, Foster, with people chasing overlay, but I don't know, maybe Saturday the night before too. They feel kind of slow. 15 at a time, I know already. It's just how it has to be for me to get those in. Surprised you have a bit of Michael Thomas? Yeah, man, I don't know. It was like early on, Nick Underhill, the reporter for the Saints, was saying that like he looked good. And I was like, all right, you know, like they have a really easy schedule. I thought Olave was like kind of mispriced for some of the draft cycle. Unfortunately, I took a lot of Christian Watson, which I'm not going to say unfortunate because that's a good bet. I hope the guy's okay. Adam saying that he just took a lot of Tyreek instead of Chase. I don't think that's crazy. Allen MVP time for sure could happen, Brock. You've drafted with Checkers Liam before. We don't mention that name on this channel, Scarecrow. Let's get a good vibe flute for this draft because why not? What happened to Watson? Hamstring injury. Not great. Might play week 1. Don't know. No Taysom. I thought Taysom was a worse bet this year after. I mean, you can go back and watch Davis's take cast before I even had a YouTube channel last offseason where I sounded the Taysom Hill alarm. So someone's new, guys. Oh, guys, I meant to show you my other flute. I also made this in art class. This one's actually like pretty cool, honestly. For someone that does not have a lot of artistic skills, I thought this turned out pretty cool. I made this in clay class in college. It's like a tank that's been like overrun with like vegetation. You can see here is the mushroom. Here's another mushroom. There's some like vines and such. The whistle sounds annoying comparatively, but we'll blow that for you guys too. See, like this is like high pitch, you know. Please, more of that. It's beautiful music. Yeah, I mean the other flute is awful. Oh shit, guys, we're on the clock. All right. Whatever. We're just gonna secure the stack. We don't need. Last time I tried to push Joe, it didn't work out great for me. Boo! I'm assuming you're booing the other one. Where'd I go to college? A little college called Eckerd College in St. Pete, Florida. I think you're onto something. I also think Underdog needs to send you a flute. Some would say so, Scarecrow. I like both Devonta Smith and Mike Williams, honestly, this week. We're gonna go with Devonta Smith though, get a wide receiver here. What did I want to say? There was something I wanted to say that I'm forgetting now. I like Survivor. I'm going to apply to be on it. Oh yeah, Taysom Hill. I thought the bet was worse for Taysom Hill this year, where in some cases the ceiling outcome is still there, right? Like the ceiling outcome is just he plays quarterback point blank period. But on the other hand, you merch flutes when already. I gotta launch my site first. But yeah, on the other hand, Mike, I'm with Taysom Hill this year. You have Jamal Williams, who is like the ultimate touchdown vulture. You have Kamara, who's reportedly looking better. You have Kendre Miller, another running back to compete with ground touches. You have Foster Moreau, who beat cancer to play this year at tight end. Not to mention Juwan Johnson looking good. And Jimmy Graham made the team at tight end. So like all of a sudden you just like add all this up and it's like so many mouths to feed. So many guys competing for touchdowns. Applying for Survivor, man, you really do be completing side quests. I like the show and I think I'd be good at it, man. No comment, Elstons. Of course not. It's a family show. That'd be great, man. How did you become a Bills fan if you're from Florida? I'm not from Florida, Brock. I just went to school down here and live here now. I grew up in New Hampshire, so Patriots country. This is how you know I'm a true fan and not a bandwagon fan. My dad grew up outside of Buffalo, and so I grew up watching the Bills games with him. All right, relax here. Do you think it's okay to be flat at quarterback percent over your portfolio, such as having no big stands? Yeah, I think it's generally okay to be a little bit more flatter at quarterback DCost. I still would have some stands because, like, I would ask yourself which quarterbacks do you think score the most points week 17 and try to draft more of those guys. But it's not the worst position to spread out. Does your dad play on Underdog? No, he does not. Yeah, I did grow up watching some lean years in Buffalo. Is my 52% Christian Watson bag crazy with 88 drafts? No, I don't think so at all, Big Jacks. I really like Christian Watson. Like, to me, I think he should have been priced like closer to the Chris Olave range. This is getting out of line now. That sounds fun, Copper. These drafts go so slow, man. Like, I don't understand. They're 12 rounds. Presumably, these people like draft a lot of volume, and I just don't understand like taking the whole clock at all. Yes, I do like Jordan Love quite a bit this year, Brock. I have more in high stakes, but I do. What part of Survivor would you be best at? I think challenges, and like I would maybe be the idiot who just like goes too hard at the challenges. And you know, like I have a hard time being fake. So I would maybe not be great at like, you know, being fake, which is part of the game. And so I would need to work on that. So, you know, I think I would try for alliances for sure. Yeah, immunity idols, I'd definitely grind those. At what number of drafts should people consider a portfolio approach? Well, I don't know exactly what you mean by a portfolio approach, but really, I guess if like the money's significant enough to you. You sound good, real tight. Talking about my flute or what, man? I don't know what this means, fantasy dog. Thanks, man. Do I like Ritter this year? Not really. I think his job security is a little bit more questionable compared to other quarterbacks where it's not going to be shocking for Heineke to see the field over him if he's bad. But is it going to be shocking if he's like better than we think? No. What's the deal with Kittle, man? Remains limited with groin. Whatever. We're gonna gamble on Kittle. If you draft a player and he gets hurt, you get to swap him. So it's not a big deal if I have to swap him. Your eyeballs match your hoodie. Yeah, I mean, I think I actually have hazel eyes, but they're green in certain lights. Am I drafting Cup with the rest of the DK drafts you have? Yes, I am. He's on almost like all of my DK teams. Whatever. He doesn't play week 1. He doesn't play week 1. Yeah, Brock, that would maybe not play well for me. All right here. So we need a running back. We need a flex. I like the Ramondre bring back on Devonta Smith. You want to be getting unique either through forcing uniqueness or whatever. And I'm getting unique with Ramondre falling here. I got Ramondre in the last round of one draft. It's kind of nice as like a mini with Devonta Smith. He's just frankly like more talented than these guys too. So whatever. Is there any higher round player that you full faded across all drafts? I have very little Kelsey. I have very little Mahomes. I have very little Eckler. I have very little Nick Chubb. I have like very little Jonathan Taylor. I don't know why I have an alarm for 11:40 at night. That's making me concerned. Usually I have an alarm for like a don't forget. But yeah, I don't know. Welcome, Andrew. You'll have to go watch the stream from earlier to see that. Go back and watch the stream from 1 p.m. today. Shout out Andrew, works for Underdog. And then also watch the beginning of this stream. It probably was an alarm to get up for noon and not this time, but you know, it is what it is. There's some great questions. Can you explain why players from teams playing against each other are so valuable? Yeah, I mean, this is like a concept, like the bring back is a concept of reaching a 90% outcome is often going to be enough to win a contest where, like, maybe not in a contest like this with 13,000 people, but the truth is I do not need the absolute nuts at every position to win this contest. I need everyone to score well enough. And the hope when you roster players playing against each other is that the game is a little bit higher scoring than you would otherwise think, where it's like, in theory, Devonta Smith catches an 80-yard touchdown, and then the Patriots go on a long drive with a bunch of dinks to Ramondre, he caps off a touchdown, something like that. Kenneth Walker or Dobbins this year? I like both. Honestly. I think Ken Walker's got a lot of downside risk, but he's a guy I drafted a lot towards the end. I'm not doing that, man. Is the Big Dog 3 going to layover or whatever the term is? Layover is when you're in an airport and you're waiting for your next flight. Overlay is when a contest doesn't fill and the prize pool is guaranteed. And my guess is, I don't know. It's unlikely. It is 75% filled. I think it was like 50% filled earlier, so maybe it might overlay. I don't know. Done over there, Jack. All right, so we're gonna try. Well, I don't know how weird I honestly need to get with this team because I got Kittle at a major value and I got Ramondre at a major value, so I'm getting unique through the draft falling to me. And in that case, I can just take whoever I think is going to score the most points. It doesn't need to be anything more than that. But fuck it, let's get weird. Let's take Rashad Penny. How many people are taking Rashad Penny and Devonta Smith and Ramondre? Probably not many. Rashad Penny also is probably getting drafted at like 0.5% a clip. And so I don't think this is a great team for winning, but let me tell you the story of how it does win. And yes, I will play the flute to set the table for that. So obviously, Burrow to Chase goes off nuclear. Ramondre, 100 yards and a touchdown. Rashad Penny, 3 goal line touchdowns. Devonta Smith, 100 yards and a touchdown. George Kittle, 100 yards, 2 touchdowns. Boom. We win. We stamp a ticket to Miami. We go to the Dog Bowl final. We win $200K there. You guys heard it here first. Is best ball your full-time job? It has been the past couple of years, Mateo. I don't know if my girlfriend loves that I reference it as a job. Like, my favorite thing to do is like around 5:01 p.m. when she's done working for the day. I'll be like, oh, sorry, babe. Some of us have to work. If, it's a weekend or if it's a late night and I'm drafting a team, I'm like, not all of us keep it easy. Some of us have to go to work. But yeah, best ball has been pretty much my sole income for the past couple of years. I do think the long-time upside of a business is a lot more than fantasy football. I've spoken to this. So that's why I want to launch a site and get more partnerships for the channel and explore different avenues for bringing in income streams other than solely best ball tournaments, which, I think obviously I'm good at best ball. I've won $1.3 million playing best ball, but it's obviously highly variance. It is not the most predictable stream of income. And so, yeah. What was in Ocarina? How long has that been a stream mainstay? Andrew, obviously you've not checked in for a while. We've been working up props. What do you tell people? I almost timed out you for a second, which would have felt bad. I just almost fat fingered that. What do you tell people you do for a living? Very few people do I say I draft fantasy football teams for a living to. I think it sounds douchey, and it, probably brings up more questions than answers. Some people I tell them I make content. Some people I tell them I invest or like a lot of times I'll just say I'll work from home and then people won't ask more. People are like, "What do you do?" And I say I work from home, and they're like, "Oh, that's cool." Um, Levitan tells people he does predictive analytics. Yeah, that sounds good. I manage portfolios. Yeah. Uh, an entertainer. I don't know. I could tell people I'm a teacher, which honestly, like that's kind of what I'm doing now. I'm teaching an audience or entertaining. I read, yeah, vibe reader, entrepreneur. Sure. All these works. People are gonna think you do an OnlyFans being so vague. God, I hope not, man. But I would crush there. No jokes. All right, guys, let's crank it out with a chess match here. First, we'll play my chess spot on Chess Kid, beat up on me real quick, and then we'll go into chess.com and play some games there. Oh, okay. QVW. No hackers try to get into my God. All right, we'll do this account. We're just gonna go read back to the site here. I used to work for Chess Kid. Shout out Chess Kid. Great site to teach your kid chess. I have a robot there that you can play. It's literally my voice. I need to honestly upgrade. I need to upgrade my streaming service so that I can like play volume for you guys and whatnot. But I'm the Blazing Bishop. Shout out me. Password 12345. Bias aside, you like the Bills week 1? I do, man. Like honestly, I like the Jets. I watched Hard Knocks. They seem like a likable team. Their O-line has questions. I think the Jets are going to be a good team. They have a very good defense. I think the Bills win, but the Jets could for sure win that game too. But I just think that like which team could miss the playoffs between those teams? That would be the Jets if their O-line is concerning and Rodgers is not good as we think. So let's beat myself down. Actually, let's do a new game here, and I'll play as black this time. You see these lines right here? Like this is my voice saying this, so you can play along with me if you want. We're gonna play the King's Indian here. I used to be a chess coach in New York City, for anyone wondering. Do, 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 do. Getting my pieces developed here, controlling the center. I don't know why I said that. So the plan is for me to play e5 here, but this bishop's keeping the pin on the knight on the queen, so we're going to play first h6, g5. It's weakening my king a little bit, but honestly. Okay, well, it willingly does the pin here. Now we're going to bring our knight up here. What's my elo? I'm like 2,000 or so, depending on what site and whatnot you're playing on. Pawn looks free, but it's not because I can attack the knight. Actually, they can defend it, so maybe it is free. Uh-oh. Can't lose to myself here. I'm down a pawn currently. I hate this position, honestly. Getting my ass kicked by myself. I know strong players take their time. I made that up. I'm suffocating for space in this position. This is not great for me. This is a strong move, maybe. All right. We'll get to your guys' comments in a second here. So, like, the Blazing Bishop, aka me, as well, has a very strong pawn center, which I need to try to undermine. We need to defend our pawn, and then we're gonna expand. You don't see a stash? Back when I was clean shaven, man. Do I memorize all these moves? No. I play a lot of chess / used to. God, I mean, the computer's just, like, cranking out good moves. It is programmed to be rated the same as me, so in theory, it should be, like, hard for me to win. I've always beaten my bot, but I don't know what its true rating is. I don't like my position at all. Like, I gotta be worried about all these computer moves. Huh. So he's pinning my pawn here, threatening knight takes g6. So we're gonna hit him with this, hitting the queen. Now I'm gonna play our rook here, threatening to take this pawn, where it's pinned to the queen here. I'm pretty tough right now. I think Eagles Bills would be really fun. My position is awful. We are losing. We're gonna hope we can hold on. Not exactly how I wanted the first game to go, but is what it is. We'll see if we can beat real people versus my bot on John Chess Kid. Oh, geez, resign? Not resigning. Never resign in chess. Make the computer beat you. I want to threaten here, but I think I need to defend. Jeez, man, I'm relentless. Trying to win, man. Oh, guys, I'm getting my ass kicked. This is the new plot of iRobot. I can't like I want to play Rook E8, but he's gonna hit me with D7, forking me. Position is woeful. Can I join a big dog 3 for the stream? Yeah, man. I think I'll play one chess game online and then we'll do another draft. But we're gonna try to get some nighttime chess streams in the mix. What am I thinking about? I'm thinking about how I have no effing moves. All right, let's at least. Oh god, we just got checkmated. Rook H7 checkmate. Good game, Blazing Bishop. I got him last time. He got me this time. God, I honestly didn't know they programmed the robot to be that strong. Because I won like pretty handily last time, but man was not man was not messing around. Let's get a game here on chess.com. Shout out chess.com, my former employer. I have two-factor authentication on my chess.com account because my chess.com account used to be a staff account. So that is the only reason. Obviously, I could care less if someone hacked into my chess.com account. What am I doing the draft? After the chess game, brother. I can't go out an L, that's for sure. All right. Look away, guys. The authenticator is a great way to oh yeah, you can join Pete's Deposit Kingdom, which apparently he is not managing. So I just had to do that if you wish. All right. Let's get a 5-minute game in. A little blitz chess for the boys and girls. A little redemption for my King's Indian after things went very south there. Won't be as much explaining here. Hmm. I'm a little rusty. I'm gonna admit that. If he moves this way, wins a pawn. Getting this move in is usually important. Occupying the center feels good here. Oops. All right, this loses a pawn, but opens up my bishop to attack his king. Am I gonna max the DK Millie tomorrow? Yes. Might do one more round of like 10 or so drafts. So I'm gonna lose this pawn, but we're gonna live with that and just start attacking. I need to get this piece developed, but whatever. Maybe should have done this one square first, but is what it is. Am I a chess black belt? No. I don't know. I'm decent. Better than 95% of people who choose to play chess. So giving away this pawn is not a big deal because the aim of this game is not pawns; it's attacking this king. For me, the aim of the game for this guy is try to hold shit down, trade shit off. That's his plan. My plan's more fun though. Yeah, it's been higher, and it's high. Like your rating is dependent on what. So this is like a terrible move by him. I mean, it temporarily stops this issue, but I mean, it is a very weakening move where you have all this space around your king. I mean, this is a very tempting move right now, and just say, "We're coming at you. We're coming at you, boy." Hmm. I think I need to set it up a little bit more first. This isn't a good move. It's just to give me more time to think, honestly. This position's very precarious, but I can't quite land the killing blow here. I think launching with this pawn is my best case, where I'm going to play. I'm going to play this pawn here, trade off, and just open up my last piece into the attack. Just hit a drafting wall. Yeah, man, it'll be nice to take a week off and just watch football. Maybe not even play DFS. Uh-oh, got pinned here. Fuck. All right, well, fuck it. Time is an element of blitz chess, of course. So if we're losing, which we are, trying to get up on the clock makes sense. But yeah, our position is very terrible now. We're going to invade though, try to harass this man. Takes, rook takes, forking the queen and king. Hashtag gotcha. People do forget I won the showdown of the opener last season. Not many people know that, Dan. I chopped it up with quite a bit of people. So yeah, we got him. This is a strong move. I think he can just go here though. In which case I would take his rook and he can trade stuff off, but at least I get back some of the material. It's going to end up with a position where I'm just down a pawn. So like I'm still losing. But he might not play this move. But it's going to go like take, or sorry, king here, take, 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 and then I have 5 pawns and he has 6. And so like I'll probably go rook here, hitting these guys, and he'll either take my pawn or go rook here to defend it. So yeah. This move's cool. And most importantly, it's using a lot of his clock, you know, because he's like, again, he's like pretty safe if he plays king b1, but doesn't seem to know that. I always like that chess.com tells you what state people list. Yeah, so he found it, but now we're okay. So he did that. So he did not trade queens, which we are not interested in trading if he doesn't want to, because I want to keep it complicated with me having a advantage on time. A little stronger move than I thought, honestly. There's no checks to my king yet, but my rook is in danger. This was a very bad move by me, allowing this move. Shit. Oh, God. I'm fucked. All right. We trade, and we try to win on time, even though I'm losing on time now. We might blitz this guy out. Ah, got me with the cheapie. Fuck. Got me with the cheapie again. I lost. All right, we refuse to end on a loss, guys. We are going to get a win here. You can auto move on chess.com unlike other sites, so you can lose no time. In the time scramble, I'll admit I need to move this over here and this over here so that I can look at the chess.com board directly. Um, we were losing, but like up on time, and then he caught me with this cheapie, and I didn't react in time, trying to move too quick. So one last one for the chat, guys. That was insane to end. Man, we keep on getting black. All right. We've been scared away. We're not playing the King's Indian this time against D4. We're going to go with something a little different. Paul is from Argentina. Good luck, Paul. It's a very boring position here. The whole theory of this structure is that they'll play queen b3 sometimes to hit your pawn and your pawn here, and you can play your rook up to defend kind of weirdly. Castling kingside seems wrong here for him. And I appreciate him taking my knight because I lack space here. I'm okay. This is my worst piece because my pawns are all in light squares. Wow. Okay. He's coming this way. And I'm coming this way. So we're both coming at each other. He's either going to take here or push. Okay. So again, I want to sack these pawns and get an attack going on this king. I'm also not thrilled to allow the move g5 to hit the board. We can't really allow that move because that's way too strong. Stops the threat of g5 for now. This pawn is free, but I don't want to open up this rook towards my king, potentially. I might choose to and just be like, fuck it, let's hold. We're going to do that because our position is worse. Ah, shit. This is a bad move because my queen is overworked. Just a tactical blunder by me, showing that I am rusty. Yeah. So the thing is, my queen cannot protect the knight and the bishop at the same time. That's why it was a terrible move by me. I'm at least getting a second pawn for my efforts where he could save his knight. But so I'm only down one pawn, which is, again, not great. It's kind of nice that this knight has this outpost to defend my king. This is a holdable position. I'm losing, but especially with the clock being part of it, I can start playing quick and just try to hold. We just want to be defensive. We're going to move our rooks over here, start expanding over here, give him something to think about. He can sacrifice here if he wishes. Again, we're going to move these pawns, give him something to think about. Let me know what you guys think of the chess streams in the YouTube comments below. Because, you know, we could be open to some more late night chess streams. Hopefully some better chess than I'm putting on display. I just need to move quick. It's not easy because I don't have really any good moves. You're a rookie player, so try to talk through your thought process. I'm assuming you're talking about chess, Oleg. I will try. I don't have any good moves right now. I'm just trying to annoy him and make him lose on time. Like, I have no way of attacking over here. I can do something like f6 and like rip open the position. Um, he's going to eventually sacrifice here and just checkmate me over here, which he can already do. He can already do rook takes, pawn takes, bishop checks here. My king has to go back here, and he can get me like that. All right, I'm going to set up this sacrifice at least. Try to get in there. It's an advantage to be white in chess if you don't know that. I'm trying to give him stuff to think about, which is not easy because my position is, again, awful. But he's maneuvering all his pieces to attack my king. Very reasonable by him. Yeah, I know Maurice Ashley. Helped him get set up on Chess Kid. Again, I don't have any good moves other than just like shuffling my pieces. Like I literally don't know how my position got so ass. But it did. Okay. And he's breaking through here, and we're gonna see if we can hold. I think he actually made a slight mistake. King G7, Knight H5 check. I would like to run here, but he has rook here. King here, knight here. If knight here, I can take. So the thing is, he can't remove this knight now, and he doesn't have this move rook h7 like he thinks he does because my knight guards it. So he done fucked up a little bit. Can I hold? Maybe not, but he's now double attacking the knight, trying to remove it. I'm lower on time too. Not great. All right. I think I can maybe run like this. I'm going to lose this knight. He has to at least trade now, which maybe I can appreciate you, Devin. Maybe I can think that was a blunder by him. Oh no. Okay, he got this. I just instantly did that. All right, we're down a queen, not great. And we're going to be down a knight after g5, yeah. Okay, so we are losing dramatically. My pieces are awful. He could have taken my rook for free. But we're going to try. We don't resign. We don't resign ever. He's making this Harry on himself. Hey, we got him. We got him. Wow. You know, that's just chess for you. You're losing all game. All game. Let's show you what happened there at the end. Clearly, Paul, who's got to be pissed off to all hell right now, got a little frazzled there under time pressure, and so this is why you don't quit, guys. This is why you don't quit. So, I mean, we can click the game review button here and show you things got bad quick for me. I've not been playing chess for a while, and you can see it did like my accuracy was not great. It tells you if you played a brilliant or great move, but I can't believe he just blundered that. Do we think he's a viewer of the stream? So like already this is questionable for me. Where he's like shutting down my counterplay. Dude, broken mouse for sure. Broken mouse for sure. This was the big blunder by me where I told it to you guys right away where, you know, the queen was protecting the bishop and this bishop and it's called being overworked. So, I made the best of a bad situation here. Now I'm just trying to hold on. This knight has what's called an outpost, meaning it can't be dislodged by a knight. And white did the right thing where they're trying to build up this attack at my king. And eventually they got fed up of this knight over here after maneuvering their pieces. And they're like, you know what? We're going to sacrifice it for our rook, which I think was like a little bit of a blunder. I don't know. The computer actually says that's a brilliant move. So either a great move by them or they're cheating. Chess.com would catch you, though, if you're cheating. And so, whatever. They're abusing me here. I'm trying my best. They just they fork me. I'm like dead lost now. But it's blitz chess. You know, I got 30 seconds. He's got 40 seconds. So odds are not great for me, but I still got a chance. What's really bad is like my rooks are disjointed. They're not protecting each other. There's so many ways I can win. I'm just trying to be annoying right now, honestly. Like I'm just trying to like move, get out of check. By this time, I knew I had a shot because it's kind of not clear how to attack me. He missed checkmate and won here, queen b8, where I can't go anywhere. He missed this checkmate, which I noticed. But once, and that's why I immediately went rook c7. But once that happened, I was like, you know what? I can kind of just like shuffle these guys, try to be annoying. He pushed his pawn, which is honestly fine, to get a queen. And now the correct move is just to sacrifice your queen for one of my rooks. And then you just have a queen and I don't have anything left. But he either fat-fingered or I don't know. And notice that this pawn over here is taking the squares away from the white king. So I was able to deliver check on the back rank, which led to checkmate. So, and you can see it rated us both pretty terrible there. So I don't know, guys. Should I do another chess game or should we finish with one more draft? John, no sense. It's not a lot of time, man. Let's go. Let's go. Never resign. Sunrunner. Hey, man. How's your Rashid Shaheed exposure? I'll check for you, man. A lot. I got a lot of Rashid Shaheed. Draft. All right, fine. We'll do one draft here. And then quit with a win. Chess was lit. Yeah, maybe I'll do a viewer stream. We'll do one more dog bowl qualifier. Give you draft junkies what you need. Smash that subscribe button, guys. We're on the road to 5K. Not many streamers out there are going to give you a little bit of flute, a little bit of FFPC debates over Taysom Hill, and some chess mixed in. We showed the losses. We showed the wins. Not dog bowl. What did you want it to be? Oh, the big dog. Let's see if we can get the big dog. If the big dog is going to fill, we'll do one. No. Dog, I'm not waiting for 11 people to do a big dog right now. Weekly winners. Okay, fine. Twist my arm. 5 more weekly winners. Let's go. These jokes will never end. Let me get some water. I'm debating, once I finish the DK Millie, just going hard at weekly winners. Oh, look at us. Fuck it, we ball. Get some water. I'll be back, guys. Oh shit, I forgot my water cup. I'll be right back. Ugh. Yeah, so weekly winners, if you're confused, which maybe we can multi-table some chess and weekly winners. That would honestly make waiting for the picks a lot more entertaining for me. Let's do this. Let's bring weekly winners down here. Let's stop this. Let's share my entire screen. What do we think about this, guys? A little bit of draft, a little bit of chess. We can still talk strat. We don't really need to see this side of the board. We just need to see our side of the board. My camera's too big. Let's make me smaller. Nope, that's awful. That ain't bad. Weekly winner strat is you got to finish first of everyone in a given week. So whether you're stacking buys to make that work, or what have you. Let's move the chessboard here so we can see the full chessboard. You don't need to see the bottom of my draft. Let's check out the other camera with that one. Nope. Let's do this one. Play you in chess. We'll be open to viewers in another stream, but we're gonna do this for now. We're just gonna play random strangers on the internet. Man, I've gotten 3 games as black in a row. If you don't know, playing black as chess is a disadvantage. All right, we're playing with a Scandinavian here. He's going with unorthodox response. So I'd say a bad response. I got the number one pick. I did. Um, yeah, I mean, so I've not done a ton of weekly winners. I like the eliminator a little bit more. Um, weekly upside is really all that matters, which you could argue that's like most best ball. You only need to win 1 week to take home 20K, I believe. So whether you think that is super stacking or what have you. So we're both like fighting for the board right now. He wants to jump in here, but it'd be a bad idea. My position's just better than his right now. How do you approach buys in weekly winners? You can either not pay attention to them at all. You can only draft teams with the same buy. Some people do that to give themselves more shots on goal for the other weeks. I think that strategy will probably be like more used by sharp people. So I don't know. There's a lot of different ways you can go. Why win week one? Why win 1 week when you can win all 17? I agree, man. Yeah, I think you can do some weird plus EV shit in weekly winners, honestly. Wow, a Monroe almost made it back to me. Insane. Obviously going Josh Allen. And to show you, I think you can do some weird weekly shit. I'm going to do it. I'm going to take Gabe Davis. Because I think securing the stack is very important. And it almost doesn't matter what price. It's like, all right, well, whatever. I'm going to have different exposures to other players. And so I think that's bad from like a total points perspective to do something crazy like this. But from like a beat the whole field, do something unique no one else is doing, I think it's fine. Yeah, I should have made the chess game longer, given myself some more time. Maybe. All right, so I don't exactly want to castle this way with the heat bearing down on my king, but ugh, I don't have a ton of other options. This is not a good move. It relieves some pressure. He's going to double attack here, and I'm going to do some like weird defensive move. And I might even have to castle here, which is typically a big no-no with a file open to your king, but is what it is. Do I think anyone with the same lineup wins multiple weeks? No. Late night gang, shout out. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't see that. Was not paying great attention. So the question is, do I keep the bishop or the knight? I think keeping the knight is better. But I really like that he put his pawn here. Now I don't need to worry about this pawn because he blocked it himself. And I can't castle like I'd like to because the queen lines up with my king and he could take my knight. And I couldn't do anything about it because my king would be in check. Called a discovered attack or discovered check. So I think what I need to do is, God, it's not great being on this open file. I'm either going to need to tuck and run like this. Play queen c7 first. Stop rook here. Check. Idea is to play queen d7 and castle. I'm never going to get the castle, though, with The threat of the rook here. Yeah, I just need to hide here, which is a bad feeling, but is what it is. Too much heat for my king on the open file. We're playing Zolang from Australia. I'm not doing terrible on time for doing a draft at the same time. Waller on this turn? Yeah, man, I don't know. So, okay, so yeah, he's sending the farm to try to fuck me up. But honestly, guys. I don't think he saw. Boop, 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 boop. Got him. We got him. We got him. We got him. We got him. Um, we got him. Little victory whistle. Let's get back to our picks. We are on the clock. I think locking in some running back points makes sense. Although I'm a Christian Watson guy, so we're going to take him. Let's go Watson and Dameon Pierce. Yeah, so I mean, in this game, he was trying to not blundering the big play chest, but he was trying to make my king weak, but forgot that he's opening up a file directly to his king and did not see the sneakiness of my queen. Now win with this fantasy team, and I will truly be impressed, Dave says. Well, Dave, I mean, you can't even judge the team until week 17 because it's got time, you know. We'll play chess games until we finish this weekly winners stream. My first game is white against Darwin Raimundo. The English opening that I'm playing. It's what I usually play as white. What flag is that? Philippines. A lot of chess players from the Philippines. I think I got a pretty strong position right here. Pawn e5 is the threat, forking the bishop and knight. Just trying to get rid of my knight so that I cannot go there. Pawn here, bishop takes. Queen takes bishop. Meh. Just get this pin out of here. Defending our knight. We want to move this bishop so our rook can get on the open file. You can see we have a lead development on our opponent slightly. Plans are like f4 looks pretty strong here. f4, I think, and I just want a piece. f4, e5 seems unstoppable. Forking the bishop and knight. Yeah, to speak about what I did here in weekly winners. So now we're winning. So our idea is to trade pieces. Um, ah, we're not winning by a ton though, so we don't want to get crazy. Okay, fine. We'll play bishop f2 here. We're going to give him another pawn if he wants, but if he does want it, it's going to come at the cost of trading. And he does not want to do that. So now we can afford to defend it. But yeah, to speak about what I did here in weekly winners, I think getting unique is like pretty important when you're trying to beat a field this size. And so doing crazy things like literally starting Jahan Dotson, Terry McLaurin, Sam Howell, and then building out a team is like probably more viable than people think, where all you really need is like the first and second round running backs to not crush that week, for you to hit some late round guys, and for your stack to do well. But yeah, it's not for everyone. The plan is a bishop takes, queen, or bishop takes, rook takes, check, knight takes, bishop takes. All right, we're just going to see it here. Now, I was thinking, pause that thought. All right. So getting some running backs that could score points is a good idea. Could use some more wide receivers too. Wouldn't mind an elite tight end. I think going Terry and DeAndre Swift is how I'm going to play it. I mean, Terry McLaurin plans to play week 1. Pretty cheap for what he is. Don't need him to play week 1 for this to be good. All right, back to the chess game. He has this queen e1 check move, which is annoying. I thought I could play queen c8, pinning the knight to the king, but he has this queen e1 checking me and defending. So 94 is interesting. Let's go 94. It stops, check, and then check again. Because now if he checks me, I run to king h2 and there's no more checks. And if he threatens queen e2 trying to hit my pawns, I can play queen f2 and defend. It also stops this knight from getting in the game. And now I can threaten his knight. Wow, okay, and he just didn't see that my bishop was defending my knight, I guess? I don't know. I don't know what that was, but it was not great by him. All right, so now we're really low on time, so we're just going to have to crank out some moves. We're up significant material. We have 50 seconds. We're going to get revenge for playing poorly and winning in the past 2 games. Or the other game we just lost. His knight can't move anywhere. I attack all these squares. We're just getting another queen because it's easy. And checkmate is near for him. Then we'll be done with chess. Just I don't know if he's trying to get stalemated or something. What a baller way to checkmate. Pew, pew, pew. So back. He's got a better position. Like here, everything. All my pieces are working. Develop, are centralized, and then this is the real killer move at 4, where his noticing pieces that are forkable. So now I'm up a material edge. I traded. Um, found ways to trade more, even though I gave the material back. And then knight e4 is just a really strong move where your knights like to be centralized, and so centralizing the knight, and then, yeah, he just blundered too. Led to me winning. All right. Well, we're obviously going to take Dalton Kincaid here to secure the stack. And I was going to take Rashad White, but he went. I think Evan Ingram has a high weekly upside. So far we have Josh Allen, Dameon Pierce, DeAndre Swift, Jamar Chase, Gabe Davis, Christian Watson, Terry McLaurin, Dalton Kincaid, Evan Ingram. I've noticed the chat did not congratulate me on my chess win, so clearly they've tired of it already. How am I just now realizing you took Gabe at the 2-3 turn above Waddle and Olave, you sicko? Telling you, man, I'm trying to get unique in this field. You're more into checkers? I'm a pretty good checkers player. Thank you. Thank you for recognizing my achievements, Brandini. I don't know what spell chess is, Rodstone. What is spell chess? Ugh. I'm clearly losing steam here, guys. The chess took it out of me. So the chess ended 2 wins, 2 losses, although one of the losses was to my bot. So is that really a loss? Yes, but we're not going to call it one. Let's bring you back to the big screen monitor here. Always appreciate the late night crowd. If you're not in the Discord again, make sure you join that below. It's in the YouTube description. I think my team's pretty decent. The biggest question mark is running back, where, to win 20K, I need 30 points plus 25 plus 25 plus 30 plus 30 plus 30 plus 20 plus tight end getting me 15 or so. Yeah, I'm not in Vegas. Hope to make it out one year, although maybe won't be making it out to a live FFPC party. No, we're going to slam some running backs, Akari. We're going to slam them fucking hard, dude. duality, you know? Shout out Andrew said, I almost finished the other stream, aka interview, and you're still alive. So devil's advocate, which rule takes precedent? Some of us are dedicated, Andrew. Ugh. Oh, you're playing devil's advocate here. Which rule takes precedent? The rule on the site or the rule about positions? No, man, again, like I've said this in tweets, I said this on the stream. If he had came and said, we need to follow the rules that we put in the rule book, but we will revisit this next year because clearly something's happening with the Saints roster manipulation here, and we need to revisit this rule if it makes sense for best ball. I think me and a lot of people would have received that quite well. Again, I did not have a huge financial bag on Taysom Hill. It's simply what I think is right, period. Rashad Penny, weekly upside. I'm warming to Jerick McKinnon being a smash again, especially if Kelsey is hurt. Although Jamal Williams, yeah, man, Jerick McKinnon won me some money last year. Let's go, Jerick McKinnon. Yeah, I gave him the easy out right in the intro. Right in the intro, I gave him that out. Agreed. I think he had a huge ego about his 16-year rule and wanted to sound very. And honestly, I think you should send him an email because something he said in that stream was I only got 12 emails about it. So clearly he thinks that is a measure of customer voices. And honestly, what he's probably looking for is how much money do you play on his site? So if you play a lot of money on his site and you email him, that's going to make some waves. If you're someone who's never played on the FFPC before and you're just calling him out, he doesn't care about that, and I understand why he wouldn't, even though it's not great. Do you have his email address? You can look it up on the FFPC. Oh, you're talking about literal spell casting chess. And I reached out to Underdog last year before the season started, and I said, hey, if they change, or maybe it was 2 years ago, I said, hey, if they change the position of a player, and I brought up Taysom Hill, what would you guys do? And they said we would hold the position that the player was drafted at. Because that's the logical fucking thing to do. And no one wants to piss off a bunch of people who've drafted. Yeah, and I'm sorry for you, Haminator, that you drafted 9 teams, which, it's that's quite a bit. That's about $1,000, a little over. And you should feel screwed. And again, I would hope even you, if he had come out and been look, we didn't foresee this thing. We have this rule we have to follow. It probably shouldn't have applied to best ball. Sure. But he came at it from I'm right. Let me show you why I'm right. I don't think the team is dead because Taysom still was a late round pick, and I don't think Taysom Hill again is a great play this year. Have I been drafting him out of principle since the stream? Of course, yes. But, if for some reason you're not up and running on Underdog, which is unlikely, you can use promo code Cheslium, $100 deposit match. Yeah, I don't think he came off great. And I was frankly surprised he wanted to do this. I was going to do a stream about it because I felt it was right. And I was going to paint both sides. I was going to try to paint both sides equally. And I think the FFPC would have came off a lot better if I just did a solo stream. But he reached out to me saying, I want to debate you. So like that to me is like you're already coming in from like kind of a bad faith angle. It is truly wild. Anytime you can get a third Eagles running back, you got to do it. Jalen Hyatt seems like a good bet to have a very high weekly upside. I question his seasonal long output where it's like he's competing with a lot of guys, but 2 catches, 160 yards, 2 touchdowns, something like that. Yeah, to me, he was acting purposely obtuse, is what frustrated me, or he was like an outright fool. I don't know, but I don't know, man. Like I literally don't know how anyone like the only people are like Twitter trolls that I've already had muted who just like to troll me in general. The only people who have like agreed with his side and or burner accounts of them probably. But like I don't think how anyone could view that situation and think that it is the fair thing to do to change the position of a player in a contest that's already drafted. Yeah, like even this would have been fine. Manage, leave it. Which again, I don't think is a great solution either. I don't think you should be changing the positions of any players once drafts have taken place. See, people are popping up on Twitter. I'll see what up. Could they not just add eligibility for both positions? Yeah, again, like I had food poisoning, so I didn't exactly prep for the stream the best I could. But that's something I wish I brought up. I don't know. I don't want to constantly talk about the thing, honestly. I don't think it does me any favors. Obviously, it's fresh. I'm fading hard here, guys. Make some quicker picks. Star Kindler says he's got the week 7 by Mageddon going on. We'll take a look at his team. Dak and Rodgers mix. Oh god, changes after each pick. That's not ideal. Take a look at the end, I guess. I usually would not take a second quarterback with Josh, but whatever. Jordan Love's fallen to us with a Dulcich stack. Michael Gallup could have a 2-touchdown game. Good luck, Adam. Any drafts with McFarland this year? No. He is draftable though. I've said on other streams that RB3s are draftable. Football tomorrow. Let's go. Yes, Sakari. I'm going to work hard in the morning, crank out my last DK drafts, and then maybe I'll stream some weekly winners and such. Any NFL showdown advice? Leave some salary, get unique. I honestly, I'm not going to fire that much action tomorrow. I'm going to be busy getting my drafts in. Kind of looking forward to a stress-free kickoff. I think the Lions are going to win that game, man. I'm rooting for the Lions. I think they're going to win. Interesting viewpoint. I will offer without comment. Sorry, Kari. Got to try to get this bread. 3 more spots if you want to fill the big dog with Adam. Clearly, I am too tired to do that. So, yeah, is my team good? Arguable. I think I'm fine at quarterback, obviously, from a weekly perspective, and, Josh Allen every week. Running back, probably the biggest question, where just need one of the Eagles running backs to go off in a given week, ideally 2. Like 2 touchdown games from 2 of them. And then one of Jarrett McKinnon or Dameon Pierce, going to add some more running backs too. Wide receiver, I honestly think I am strong enough where I got Chase in there. I got the weeks that Gabe's there. I got the weeks that Watson's there. Hopefully those 3 line up. I need them to. And then the weeks that Terry are there. And if not, like some random mixes in from these guys and some other guys I'm going to draft. Tight end, the Kincaid weeks and the Ingram weeks. Yeah, I mean, McCaffrey makes this joke, but again, like I think a constructive takeaway is that you should email your feedback to the FFPC if you feel certain what type of way. 24-hour stream until football starts. Preston clearly does not like me as a person. Just kidding, Preston. Okay. Let's get Sean Tucker in the mix. I don't know. Kendre Miller's going to play football this year. Has the portfolio review already happened? Happened at the beginning. At the beginning, Creamy. I mean, lots of DMs about the FFPC situation. Maxing weekly winners, Adam, almost certainly not, man. Unless I draft. I don't know. I've done a couple, I've done like 1 or 2 streams of them. This is my 3rd weekly winners. Did one with Kitchen. Did one with Daniel Raz. And this is number 3. So I do not see myself cranking out 147 of these bad boys tomorrow. I do see myself entering 20 at once. Good DMs. People either sending supportive messages or their experience of. One guy said that the FFPC made a kicker for him. He said, as I pointed out in some of my tweets, at least one thing Alex said was factually incorrect. Last season, I wanted to draft a kicker that wasn't available in a draft. They paused the draft, created the player, and allowed me to draft them, all after the contest had started. So, I mean, I don't think that's crazy. Dude, what the hell are you doing, Star Kindler? Why are you not going to give me Deontay Hardy for my last pick? Really? After a marathon stream, dude? Come on now. What's your Lance and Claypool exposure? Shout out to legend Bolduck. I don't know, man. I showed him. Can't even fathom questions right now. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding, Star, man. You sound like a good guy. I'm sorry. I did not mean to guilt trip you like that. I can survive. I'm going to draft a different wide receiver. Oh, man. 2 hours gets away from you. I'm a little thin at tight end, only rocking with Kincaid and Ingram, but whatever. I don't know if Christian Watson's even playing week 1. So. I'm clearly going Atwell or Trey Palmer, and I'm just going to juggle them. I mean, Atwell is just kind of like a bet that he's the 3. They both have very good weekly ceilings to me, where like Palmer is he catches touchdowns. Atwell is the same thing. Like they're both deep threats. Atwell maybe has a chance to be more. Oh, I don't have to do this anymore. I don't know why it does this on desktop. It always freezes on the last pick. Let's see who we ended up with, though. Atwell. Okay. I think Trey Palmer gets drafted less, so it's a little bit ownership discount, but who cares? So we ended up with the Josh Allen, Jordan Love, Dameon Pierce, DeAndre Swift, Rashad Penny, Jarrett McKinnon, Kenneth Gainwell, Sean Tucker, Kendra Miller, Jamar Chase, Gabe Davis, Christian Watson, Terry McLaurin, Jalen Hyatt, Michael Gallup, Tutu Atwell, Dalton Kincaid, Evan Ingram. Nice way to coin flip. Yeah, I mean sometimes we random number generate it. Sometimes we juggle. Streamed 9-7. All right, guys, that's what I got for tonight. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, comment down below in the YouTube description for the algorithm. Join the Discord. Link is in the YouTube description below. Probably be back tomorrow. NFL starts today now, I guess. Let's go.